What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where it's about the latest and greatest of cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
Chris Abacan.
What's going on, everybody?
And Daniel Acevedo.
How's it going, guys?
What's going on? So welcome to Friday's episode. So if you have not already, please go back and tune in. Monday and Tuesday are our topics. Wednesday, discussion. I think it was a really good discussion. Thursday, if everything goes right, I will have Dr. Hollis. He is a 30-year retired Navy veteran, a cybersecurity professor. He's doing a lot of big things in our community. Great conversation. Found out he was my neighbor. So that was also pretty cool. But definitely check that one out. And then Friday is this episode. This is non-cyber related, unless we talk about we're studying for something. It's all about movies, books, games, things of that nature. So this is where we just come to unwind. So definitely continue to check these out as well, but it's definitely different than the rest of the week. But without further ado, how was everybody's week? How was your week, Shannon?
So it was all right. I won't complain. Got a little bit more into Madden 25. It's still some stuff I don't like about it, but I think that's becoming an every year.
Oh, man, I thought you were going to say, I love it. It's the best Madden since the first one.
I don't know about that. Like back in the day, you got to think about back in the day, that was the jam. You know what I mean, based on what they can do. But the stuff they can do with the consoles nowadays, man, I think my expectations are just higher. You know what I mean? But no, it's not bad. It's okay. There's still some stuff that's kind of glitchy. It's like, man, this dude made a move before I even pressed the button to get this interception. Like, how's that possible? Like, how are you? Is this AI? Are you reading my mind? Is this what's going on? Do I have a chip in me? Like, no. But no, I'm getting some more playtime in, and it's getting better. Watched my Ravens lose a heartbreaker on Thursday night, man. That was
rough.
Yeah,
I was rooting for y'all.
Yeah.
Look, man, I was rooting for y'all.
I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna send an email to the team, like, hey, everybody needs to have their cleats one size smaller now. Like, that's all we needed. That's all we needed to get that touchdown.
You got caught in 4K, man. You saw the screen and everything. Like, their cameras are getting amazing.
Very good. Very good. Like, when I saw it, it broke my heart. Like, my head went down. I was like, that's not going to count.
I can only imagine this in the stadium when they put it up on the Jumbotron or whatever. Like, people were like, oh.
They did.
Like, because you can't lie. You can't lie about that one.
So they did. In Kansas City, they started roaring, man. Like, when they showed the replay, like, you could hear them going crazy. Like, oh, that's not going to count. They already knew before the referee went out there and made the announcement. But it was a heartbreaker. We didn't start off good, but I liked the way it ended. So I'm more confident in my team than I this year than I thought I would be based off everything that we lost. But
it looked good. It looked real good.
It didn't start out good. Like, they were having their way.
It was a little bit. Yeah.
It's like,
but yeah, look, at the end, I was like, okay, they got the 2-minute drill down and everything. I was like, okay, it felt like a season ender, not a season beginner.
Right. It started off with a bang, for sure. It started off with a bang. But now we'll get better. We're going to get good against the Raiders this coming week. Not today, Sunday. We film on Sundays, everybody, behind the scenes. But not today, but next week we'll get good against the Raiders. I hope, right? They've given us some trouble in the past. I think we just look past them and let them come up on us. But I don't think so this time. We'll see. College football is off the chain this year, man. Like, some of the stuff
off the chain, absolutely.
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, some stuff that's happening, man. Like, I was struggling to get up this morning because I stayed up for the Oregon game, and that one was like, in my time zone, it was 8:00 at night. And these games are 3.5, 4 hours, depending on how long it takes. But I was struggling to get up this morning for the recording, man. But Oregon is I got a coworker, / friend that I talked to is an Oregon fan. And he's like, oh, we're gonna dominate the Big Ten. I'm like, y'all ain't been facing Big Ten defenses over there in the Pac-12. It's gonna be hard for you. And this is Boise State. They're MAC. What conference are they in? Whatever conference they're in. But
I actually don't know what their conference is, but here's the thing, like, the score line, right? Like, you got all these ranked teams with like odd scores, right? Like, they're very, very close to unranked teams, with the big one being Notre Dame, obviously losing to Northern Illinois, right? Which was the coach talking at the end. That got me, like, that was awesome. You got emotional just how proud he was of his team. It's like a father being proud of their kids. Like, he was great.
I didn't see that, but I can imagine. You talking about the Northern Illinois coach?
Yeah. yeah, definitely watch Northern Illinois. I forgot his name. I think Thomas something, but yeah, definitely Google that. It's a good interview. Good interview.
I mean, they beat the number 5 team in the nation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like that's that's good for you. Maybe go into your athletic director's office and start talking contract extension right now, like before the rest of the season plays out, because it might not get any better.
Yeah, so me being a Big Ten guy, Iowa State beat Iowa. I mean, so it's I love seeing that. Like these rankings, man. I think I've never been like I understand why they exist, right? There has to be some kind of framework. They're tournament thing. We need more tournaments. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna tell you something. I was worried about Iowa after seeing them last week because all of a sudden it seemed like their offense was catching fire, right? Iowa's always been known for like offensive linemen, tight ends, and good defense, right? So like when you play, no matter who you are, when you play Iowa, the score might be 13-7, and you end up winning. Like you might be averaging 35 points a game, but you play Iowa, you're only putting up 13. But last week, their offense was like gangbusters, man. So I was like, oh no, like Iowa's good on offense now. Like I got to worry about that. And then they went back to form. That chariot turned back into a pumpkin for their offense this past week. But no, the college football games and watching those two, it was pretty good. I that's pretty much all I've been doing. What about you, Daniel? Where you at? What'd you do this week?
Good. We're just out here getting the house spruced up. It feels more like a home finally. We spent the weekend in Tokyo visiting grandma up there, and then we went out. Me and the wife actually went on like a date night. We hadn't had one in a long time. So the lights, I love Tokyo, man. The lights get me. The city's just like so alive. I don't have to worry about getting mugged, so it's like the perfect combination. It's my sweet spot. I like to enjoy a night out and not worrying about getting shot at. It's perfect. And it's like clean, and it's a great place. So we had some good food. We had a nice walk. We went to some stores, bought clothing, spent money that I didn't need to be spending, but it was good. It was a nice night out. The whole weekend was great. It'd been a while since I had been in Tokyo, so we spent a lot of time with the family down there. A lot of good food. It was awesome. Besides that, I actually wrote another blog episode, so I think I'm definitely gonna start a blog and maybe even like
do it.
Maybe like a YouTube or vlog and just kind of just do things out here in Tokyo, show people what it's like to live out here. The space is already saturated, but I'm not gonna let it get me worried. I'm not even gonna worry about that. I'm just gonna
do things
that I.
Yeah, I get a couple different hosts, and I love it because I get to character live through them, right?
Yeah, there's enough on like Instagram and stuff like that, but I'm just gonna do the things I enjoy with my kid. Show people like Bonodori, like the festivals down here in the summertime, Hanabi, like the firework festivals. When we go to like the different tourist spots, the different things that my kid hasn't experienced yet, I'll record a couple things and I'll write a blog out. I gotta admit, my assistant, Sir ChatGPT, is an amazing editor and makes my life writing like 15 times faster. So that's why it doesn't seem so overwhelming. And then whenever I have questions about the video and stuff like that, it just throws me stuff like, hey, just follow this thing or do this thing. It's like, it's so much easier asking it than spending 2 hours Google searching that now I'm just going to go ahead and start doing it. I think I'm going to like write a bunch of articles first, get like 6, 7, or 10 blogs written, and then start doing it and like start a blog site, either Blogger or Medium or something like that, and start through there. Yeah, I'll keep you guys posted. So when you ask me next time where they can find me, it'll be like on LinkedIn, and then they can find my blog on.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
definitely.
But that's pretty much where I'm at. That and Call of Duty, the beta. Haven't played a Call of Duty in a long time, and the speed was getting to me in the beginning, but I got to the point where I can make my own classes, and I started unlocking the guns, and then I started getting sweaty. I started getting good, and I just like was enjoying it to like a tenfold. That hit of dopamine just by like just fucking fast pace. I was like, let's go. So that and Black Wukong Black Myth is still like really. Yeah,
you play on
my
Xbox
jam right
or
now.
PS4 or
on PS5?
PS5, right?
Because I don't have the $20,000 PCs that Ryan wants to build, or the 900 square inch TVs that he plays on. So I have a gentleman's 50-inch TV and a PS5, and I enjoy it enough. So that's what I'm playing it on right now. And yeah, that was kind of summarizes my whole week. What you get into, Chris?
So really light week for me as well. I watched a bunch of tennis, right? I'm a big U.S. Open, big tennis fan. We and I think a big one as well for me was kind of the sports, right? Anticipation of my season. So I'm a Vikings fan, right? I think we are playing. Who are we playing? I think the New York Giants this week, right? So that should be a fun game coming up here. So that should be great. I think college football does have me excited, right? I think just kind of going back with what Shannon was talking about.
Are you a Gophers fan? I know you like the Vikings.
I am a Gophers fan. I'm Minnesota all the way. Yeah, Minnesota all the way because my formative years are in Minnesota.
I think we play y'all this year. So like the Big Ten got huge this year. Like it's like 16 teams.
What's your team?
Penn State. I'm a Penn State fan.
Penn State. Oh yeah, My old admiral was a Penn State fan. Is a huge Penn. He still is a big Penn State fan. But yeah, that's awesome.
Well, Bowling Green gave us trouble. Like that's
true.
I'm like, see, I was like Bowling Green. But yeah, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it should be a great season. I want to see what the scores look like. Yeah, I want to see what the rankings matriculate to into the next like 3 or 4 weeks. I like underdog stories, right? Yeah, obviously Minnesota, we're underdog. I'd like to be in the top 25 at some point. We'd like to be there. But my local team here, South Florida, right? We just lost to Alabama here too. So we got beat pretty well, 42-16. But on the media end, more murder stories. We've been watching this thing at HBO. It's called like yeah.
You walked into that so casually, like more murder stories.
More murder stories. But it's called on HBO Max called the Born Evil serial killer. Like, man, some of the people they talk about on this, it's pretty insane, right? These people are just like, they have recounts of family members, maybe like, or loved ones talking about like signs, like he would like, joke around about wrapping somebody up and or stuff like that, right? And then they cover one of the Nebraska mass murderer or mass shooter. It was like 1988 or something, right? And this was at a mall, it was crazy. I don't know why we kind of just gravitate when we got nothing to watch. We didn't feel like watching Game of Thrones this week, right? We'll probably watch it again starting next week, but we gravitated to our good old faithful, crime stories, right? It's just like, I don't know what it is. Getting older, it's like Dateline. Dateline's awesome. We binged Dateline too, right? On Peacock. It's something about the format. It just works for us, right? They got an interview. They got sometimes the guys in prison kind of talking about, oh, what I did. And some of them are just still denying what they did. I think it's just fascinating. Dateline's great. Like, I remember growing up, like, why do people watch this? Like 60 Minutes and Dateline. Now I'm like, oh yeah, this is the bomb. I go back and watch old episodes of Dateline. So that's my week, right? But besides studying for CISM, right, which is kind of casual, or going through the practice tests probably next week, and I want to test for it. I thought I was gonna do it end of this month. Nah, it's probably gonna be end of next month, right? So should be getting my CISM there. But yeah, Ryan, how's your week?
So hold on before you hand it over. So Chris, I gotta ask you, like, your wife is watching this stuff with you, right?
Yeah, we love it. We love this stuff.
You're not going to get the questions I usually get with some of the stuff that happens with me. So sometimes my wife asks me if I have any emotions when I make certain statements. Like usually, and so like you're like Daniel, like you pointed out, more killer stories, and it's just like so nonchalant about it, right? So it's like I'm like, does he have feelings? Is he a sociopath or what's the other one? Sociopath or psychopath, whichever one it is. Like, doesn't have feelings. My wife sometimes just asks me that because, like, she'll tell me a story about something, and I'm like, I have no sympathy for that. Like, this person's an adult; they should have known better. Blah blah blah. You just have no feelings sometimes. I 100% have feelings. Like, you're still here after all these years. I kept you around. I have feelings.
I just think that we're so desensitized. Like, we military guys, we've seen it all, man. So it's like, when it comes to like a targeted, event like that, it's just like, what brought somebody to do that? That's why it's kind of fascinating. Like, what goes on here, right? What brings a guy to just take somebody else's life?
It's probably because we've all probably met one in real life, right? Like, it's one of those things where in your military career, you came across somebody and be like, that could be a serial killer.
Oh, 100%, 100 freaking percent.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ryan, man.
No problem. So if you have not already, please check out all the previous episodes. Like I said, we should have an Ask Us SP this week as long as editing goes well. I was really surprised the one with Shauna Weatherly actually came out really good, like because she was a wealth of knowledge. Like it was really good talking about small business and Aaron the federal marketplace and her company called FedSubK. But I had a lot of technical issues on my end, so just cleaning up took weeks. But finally got that one out. The one with Dr. Hollis, I have not listened to it yet, but I did. I had the headphones on. I made sure I separated the speaker from the mic, so I shouldn't have those issues. I just have to jump on it. So definitely check that one out. I think it should be really good as well. So I actually got some gameplay in this week. So I played the beta. I suck at it, but maybe I do have to unlock some stuff. I think I'm like level 5 is when I stopped playing. That's like literally like 3 sessions, and I was like, yeah, that's not for me. So I might hop on the open beta before that one closes. But I'm gonna get it because it's on Game Pass. But I'm probably gonna get it primarily for the campaign and the zombie mode to play with friends. Like I'm just not competitive online anymore. I'm just not good. I'm not going to get good. So it's not as satisfying. But what really has had a stranglehold on me is a game called Balatro. So it's like a deck building poker game roguelike. It's a bunch of words that shouldn't go together, but you don't have to know how to play poker. It kind of teaches you some of the basics of it. But mostly it's like it has RPG mechanics. Like each card has a certain point system as you go along and collect cards called jokers. Yep. You got Balatro? Yeah. I wrote a little bit about it in the newsletter. Like I think it's a phenomenal game. I usually don't buy indies at full price. This one was $15. But I heard about it so many times on all of my different game podcasts. I was like, fine, I'll get it. Like sure enough, like it hooked me. I was like, oh, this is a lot of fun. And it's somewhat random, right? So you're not always going to get the same hands, obviously, because it's poker, but you're also not going to get the same perks. So I had this one run, I was killing them, man. I had the perfect amount of jokers that had the multipliers. Like I was like, because you have to beat the bosses are the blind, so you have small blind, big blind, and then I forget what the third one is called. But they have different points to beat them, to defeat them. So like small blind might be 300 when you start out, but as you continuously win rounds, the small blind might be 12,000, right? And you just have to make sure you stack up enough points to be able to beat the small blind, and you're gambling. So like you could throw away some cards that could have been your royal flush or something like that. So, but I'm enjoying it. And then I started Astrobot. So I shared with Shannon. I got the controller for it. This is Sony's attempt at a true Mario-like mascot, right? So if you played the tech demo that came out with the PS5, it's called Astro's Playroom. It played around with the mechanics of the controller, and it had these cute characters. They had a lot of PlayStation history behind it, right? Like nostalgia, like they had like different cameos from characters, things of that nature. So think that, but think of a full-fledged game based upon it. And it plays like the levels are like designed kind of like Mario Odyssey, which each one has a theme, and they play around with physics and things of that nature. And then it has the discovery element. You could think of like a cross between Banjo-Kazooie and Mario 64, where you're finding like puzzle pieces and different characters throughout. It has lots of hidden secrets like Super Mario World 3. Sounds amazing, looks amazing. It's running at solid 4K 60. It's got its hooks in me. Like I really am enjoying it. I think I've played for 5 or 6 hours, and it says I only completed 17%. That's how big it is. I think it has like 80 levels is what they're projecting. And it's just fun. Like I haven't had this much fun since probably the last time I played like Mario Galaxy would be the last time I had this type of fun. Like it's both endearing and as well as sometimes it gets a little bit difficult. Like if I want to get a puzzle piece, I got to figure out like how I'm going to get over there. I got to perfect my platformer and things of that nature to make it over there. I think I've rescued like 800 out of the 300 bots I'm supposed to find. So like maybe 17% is where I'm at. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. So that'll probably be my game for the foreseeable future before I jump back into, I have to beat I made it a go. I will beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth before the end of the year. So I have to jump back on it. I have like another probably 100 hours to go in that game. So before I jump back into that, I'm going to play Astro's Playroom. But that's pretty much it for me. Chuck E. Cheese for my niece's birthday.
Nice.
Kid Vegas. It's always fun.
Very nice.
Kid Vegas. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Kid Vegas.
That's a good one.
There's no clocks in there. Like, look for a clock. You won't find one. Just like
a casino. Just like a casino. You're trapped.
Yeah, it's IKEA. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I want to put it out there. So November 23rd, we play the Golden Gophers. We play the Gophers.
Nice.
All right,
Should
so
be a
look,
good game.
one of the two of us cannot show up that next day for the recording. I'm just saying that. Right? And look, we're playing Buffalo September 29th. So
Yep.
it's on my calendar, man. So
Nice.
So we'll see how I feel about that after today. Today's the Cardinal game. It's our first game of the season. So we'll see how we play today.
You guys need to make a prop bet. The loser has to wear the other team's jersey on.
Oh no!
For the recording of the podcast.
I'll do a shirt. I ain't gonna do a jersey. I ain't gonna spend that type of money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I ain't trying to spend that type of money.
Just gotta print out the other team's logo and just tape it to your shirt or something. Yeah.
Bill's fan.
Is it say Thanos was right?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
No, Warrior.
I did nothing wrong.
Look, he's the hero of the Avengers. That's what I say, man. I tell people that. And they're like, "Oh, you're funny." I'm like, "No, I'm serious." Like,
He's the main character. The main character of Infinity War, which is what I like. That's why Infinity War is my favorite one by far. It's because Thanos.
100%. But I'm losing my voice, so we got to land this plane. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. Check us out on all the platforms that go by our name. Hit me up personally at Rivalry Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. You can find me on all the platforms. And where can they find you, Chris?
You can find me on LinkedIn under Chris Abacon, last name spelled A Bacon.
There it is. And where can they find you, Daniel?
On LinkedIn under my name, Daniel Acevedo.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.